Hey, I'm Mack. Welcome to my coffee table. So my original Rachel Hollis video got a content ID claim, which would be fine because and the claim was on the background music in Rachel Hollis's little the video every woman should watch clip for the background music that I can't really separate her words from. So I can't really mute it. I can't really replace it. And while I could have left that copy up and shared the revenue with the copyright holder, as a musician, I don't think the song is very good. It kind of sucks. And it's thunder snowing right now in Utah. It's pretty weird. And I just don't think that they have a legitimate copyright claim. And like, while I could like dispute it and then appeal it and shit, like we all know how that like usually goes. So I'm probably just going to see if I can make some edits to it, like change, alter the pitch and have it keep changing and filter out some of it, and we'll see what we can do. Also, at the end, there's going to be some new outtakes from when I was doing the effects on the audio to get it to pass the content ID. And I'm going to have the speech replay again with this one effect that I accidentally put on while I was editing, and it actually cheered me all right up. It's hilarious. It's so dumb, but it's hilarious. So that will be at the end. That's going to be the outro for this version of it. This video was originally uploaded in November of 2020. So if you're wondering why it seems kind of like not current, that is why. It's because it's not current. And because I do not like the composer who composed the music that Rachel Hollis used. So enjoy. Hey, I'm Mack. Welcome to my channel. I'd like to talk today about Rachel Hollis. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this a content change? Oh my god, I forgot to tell everybody and make it a very huge deal. Welcome back to my hostage situation. I mean, YouTube channel. Actually, what's the difference? Huh! Did you know that being a YouTuber is the worst job in the world? The worst. Do you know what happens on YouTube? Let me explain it to all of you ungrateful dipshits. How it works. People will not watch my video about a topic that doesn't interest them purely because they don't want to? What? Oh, and other creators, sometimes they don't follow the rules that I made up in my head. Ha! They're also such huge bullies. There's a lot of bullying in this community. I see nothing but bullying from a bunch of stupid, unprofessional, ugly creators who are stupid and dumb, so stop being such ugly, stupid bullies who don't know how to talk properly. Also, have you seen my analytics? Do you know whose fault and responsibility those analytics are? Yours. If you're going to watch some things and not watch other things, just because you like this content and you don't like the other content, you can just get the fuck off my channel. Okay, seriously? Do you know how much it hurt me when you all... I mean, I know that I made them and I picked the topics, but then you guys watch them and you wouldn't watch my other ones. It's so competitive. And the rest of the creators are total bitches. You know, I don't know why it has to be so dramatic. But as I was saying, I'd like to talk about Rachel Hollis and maybe react to a couple of her videos that are on YouTube and Quibi. Quibi, if you didn't know, was a wildly unsuccessful attempt by established media executives to start a streaming platform with an insanely bloated budget of over $2 billion that demonstrated that even terrible ideas like an entire platform of 5 to 10 minute content that you watch in portrait mode, because that's what everybody was just clamoring for, clearly, and have to pay to watch, even with ads, can secure outrageously infuriating amounts of funding. This money bonfire was finally recently extinguished, and some of the gasoline that fueled the incineration of $2 billion in delusional misplaced money, it came in the form of the Rachel Hollis Show. I think it's just a match made in heaven to have the Rachel Hollis Show on Quibi. They're meant for each other. They're both inexplicably well-funded and supported. They both have the aesthetic of success, and yet they're completely empty and hollow offerings, but somehow put out an endless torrent of what can best be described as content adjacent material. Take a look at this clip of an interview with country fuckboy Luke Bryan, who, as one of the talent-bereft ciphers through which the avarice of a morally bankrupt pop country industry is channeled, is just a perfect guest for the Rachel Hollis Show on Quibi.
I'm so blessed to have been all over this country, and then, you know, when I can say that I was born in a town of 600 people, and it's something endearing about that. I think people want to hear the stories of small town life.
Are there times in your career, I have to imagine that there are, where you have that sort of out-of-body experience of, like, that moment of how am I sitting at this award show? How am I meeting this person? I think, you know, my grandparents, who I was very close to, were they were farmhands, and the experiences that I've been able to have and look at and think like, God, Grandma couldn't even imagine this life, and now I get to live it because I stand on her shoulders, and the work that she did made it possible for me to be here. Do you have those experiences?
Yeah, I mean, the first time you perform at the Grand Ole Opry, the first time you have a #1 hit as a songwriter, and yeah, it's all about the little small successes, and with every little success I enjoyed it, and then I picked another goal or another achievement. But yeah, like when you walk in to the CMA Awards and you're sitting on the front row and you're nominated for Entertainer of the Year, and then you actually win the Entertainer of the Year. I mean, those are moments in life that define you forever, and it makes all your sacrifices really, really worth it. I mean, pretty amazing stuff.
Can you imagine having paid for that? You pay for a streaming service and you get that. That was like over 71 seconds of your life that you will never get back. How does it feel? Alright. Well, why do I hate her so much? Well, Rachel Hollis is kind of the perfect embodiment of so many things that I absolutely despise and think are wrong with the world. For one, she's so privileged, and she never, ever, ever acknowledges even the slightest bit of it. Sure, she might not have had the easiest time in childhood, which she constantly talks about, but by the age of 21, she had married Dave Hollis, who was a Disney vice president and made a minimum of $300,000 every single year. Oh, and they got married at Pismo Beach. Pismo Beach. Are you kidding me? Okay. I'm not saying anything about the merits or pitfalls of getting married at age 21, but what I am saying is that if I had access to over $300,000 a year in shared income at the age of 21, I would be completely unqualified to be giving out the type of brain dead non-advice that Rachel Hollis constantly spews. Seriously, what the fuck does she know? If I truncated my life experience at 21 and started coaching people based on what I learned from 0 to 21, it would be the dumbest advice ever, because let me tell you, I didn't know shit. This is so important, and I feel like it's never brought up. She's really never known any true hardship since she married her now ex-husband, which shielded her from experiencing true financial difficulties as an adult. Despite this, she feels she's qualified to advise people experiencing actual hardship and portrays herself as someone who's been through so much hardship in her life, so much hard. But she's never really been on her own or in substantial material difficulty at any point in her adult life. At any point. In fact, because of her marriage to a rich executive in adulthood, she's been really more privileged and more sheltered than anyone that I can even think of off the top of my head. She's only ever been with one man. Check this out. From Quick.
The first date I ever went on in my entire life was with my husband. So I am 37. I have only been on a date with one person, and that is the person that I married, which is wild.
That's like, I just sat back in my chair here. Wow. I mean, you get to meet you now and learn what you want now, and then it's okay if that doesn't stay the same, right? Like, I'm getting more to me. Like, I'm figuring out, like, dude, the next guy has his work cut out for him because my intuition, my standards, my boundaries, my wants and needs are like off the charts, like, because I've gotten to know me so much more, so it's gonna be so much more narrow and specific. And I think that's the challenge with a relationship is like, and I said this at the beginning of the last one relationship, I was like, look, you either grow together, one grows and one doesn't, or you grow apart.
Absolutely.
I have never experienced growth without pain. Do you agree?
I 100% agree. And I also think that I know for a fact that on the other side of this is goodness, is empathy, is knowledge, is me being stronger, is me being a more intentional mother, is me being more true to myself. But it's gonna take walking through this suck to get to the other side.
She was with that man since she was like 18. Her entire adult life. I can't stress this enough how, while she might have had a difficult childhood, whatever, she has had one of the most sheltered and privileged and shielded adult lives ever. Seriously, why are we listening to a 37-year-old whose dating experience consists of one person? Why are we listening to them advise anybody about anything? Yet she acts like she knows everything about every situation and professes herself to have all the answers when she does not. She's constantly held up as some kind of expert despite not having any type of experience in any of the fields she advises on. Like parenting, for example, she's always telling other moms emphatically how to parent their children and about why her way is the only right way and the way that they're doing it is so wrong, because Rachel's all about tough love and being real. Because we know that the experience of getting married to someone and starting a family at 21 with over $300,000 a year is truly the ultimate way to build grit. She projects herself as being so real and relatable, yet you know that experience that you're currently having or that you've had in the past where you're living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet, wondering how you're gonna come up with rent this month so you're not out on the street? Yeah, Rachel's never had that. That is a completely alien experience to her. She's never ever had that experience. This is why every time that she has the nerve to open her mouth to tell other mothers how to run their lives, she says stupid shit like, hire a nanny. What the fuck are you talking about? This is how goddamn disconnected she is from reality, and it shows. And I don't know why nobody sees this to be a massive problem. when she does give advice as well, she just essentially says a bunch of cliches that don't actually contain any information and are completely unlikely to ever help anybody overcome any type of challenge or reach any actual goal or overcome any type of obstacle, especially because she refuses to acknowledge the very real barriers and obstacles and challenges that come up in life. She always blames people for their lack of achievement and just denies that any barriers or obstacles exist. Like, yeah, Rachel, this is the woman who has repeatedly stressed the importance of getting a nanny in order to reach your goals and says that she couldn't have done what she's done without having a nanny, and yet everything is your fault. I don't know if she legitimately thinks that everybody can afford a nanny and maybe they just haven't been smart enough to think of that idea. Like, they're like, oh, hire a nanny. Why hadn't thought of that? Or if she thinks that everybody can just fart out the money to pay for a nanny, you know, just by wanting it badly enough. But it seriously blows my mind how she can literally spell out the ways in which her success depended on the financial resources that she's had access to and never realize that no, it's not just hard work that made her successful, it's access to resources and extreme privilege. It pisses me off how much she has this halo of wisdom attributed to her and this vague sense of accomplishment that is totally undeserved awarded to her. Okay, so she's written a couple books that sold well. Cool. A lot of people write books. While I'm sure that she did work very hard on Girl Wash Your Face and work very hard on getting it published, the simple fact of the matter is that the reason that she was able to have the time to write Girl Wash Your Face and to have the resources available to get the book put out there and get it published and whatnot is her marriage to Dave. I'm not saying that it's the only reason, but just about everything is easier to accomplish when you have $300,000 in shared income giving you a cushion and to work on your writing instead of working a regular job, and also a lot of money right there to fall on, to land if you fail. Many, many people who I'm sure have just as much, if not more, writing talent than Rachel Hollis do not have that option. They'd like to write a book maybe and put it out there, but they can't get the time to write because they have to work and care for their children, and there's no time left because they can't afford a nanny and they can't afford to quit their job like Rachel did and couldn't get resources to promote and publish and whatever else goes into a book that Rachel had the resources to do. And to never acknowledge that when you claim to be helping people achieve goals in a realistic and practical way, and you say that they can do just like you did, it's just flat out delusional, or worse, it's dishonest. It is objectively not true. You are lying to these people. Maybe I'm being too hard on her, but let's give her another chance. Let's watch one of the videos that she has on her YouTube channel. This is a video on her YouTube channel uploaded in December of 2017, and it is titled, "The Video Every Woman Should Watch." Okay, so every woman, every single one needs to watch this video. It must be super great information and super important. I'm sure it's very critical, and your life will be forever different. So let's take a look.
You tell me you don't have the time, I'm gonna call bullcrap. I'm gonna call bullcrap on you all year long. That's what 2017 is about. Because here's the thing, you guys. It is not about choosing what you want right now. It is about choosing what you want most. Other people don't get to tell you what you can have. Someone else doesn't get to tell you who you can be. That's on you. Go all in. Take massive action immediately. Not on Monday, not at the new year, not next month. Right now, today, take massive action to get you to your goal. Anything you want for yourself, you have to do yourself. And the first step to getting there is that we're not going to have a dream. We're going to have a plan. Listen to me. Nobody is ever going to care about your dreams as much as you do, no matter what they are. Nobody. I I believe deeply that you are capable of anything you set your mind to, but you gotta set your mind to it and go all in. So you need to start with your goal and reverse engineer from there and not give up when it gets hard or when it's taking too long, because that is part of life. There are days that are gonna be hard, but don't encourage the hard stuff, don't encourage the suckiness by surrounding yourself with affirmations of giving up. You are stronger than you have become. You can do more than you think you can do. You are capable of whatever you set your mind to. Plan your life accordingly. Sometimes you just have to sit in hard space. Sometimes you just have to live in the tension. In fact, I think that's the only way that you actually get stronger about anything. You don't grow or change or become who you want to be by sitting in one place. You become that person once you take a leap of faith and you're flying through the air and you have no idea if you have a parachute, how you're going to land, you don't know what you do. That is how you become who you were meant to be. So jump. Maybe you were given this mountain to show other people that it can be moved. The warriors who have walked through hard times, that is how the rest of us know that we can get somewhere. You can look at your past and see a line of mistakes, see only the hard things that life threw your way, or you can recognize all of the times that you overcame adversity, that you pushed through the hard stuff, that you got it done, and you go through something strong and you become stronger in the process. When you remember the power of Me Too, and when you see a sister and she's carrying baggage that you carried for years, now you are stronger. And you can say to her, girl, I can help you carry that load because I know what it feels like to unpack that bag. I will raise my hand and I will be the first person that tells you that it happened to me. And not only did it happen to me, but that I've walked through it and I'm on the other side. Stop crying about what happened and take control of what happens next. Get up right now. Rise up from where you've been. Scrub away the tears and the pain of yesterday and start again. Girl, wash your face.
I'm so confused. Okay, let's unpack this a little bit. First of all, I don't know what any of that meant. Was that even supposed to be one continuous speech, or was that like a bunch of like just tidbits in a compilation? I'm serious. Like I was, because was that supposed to be one continuous thought, or was that like a bunch of thoughts? Because that was complete gibberish and totally incoherent. Okay, let's look at one of those statements. You become that person once you take a leap of faith and you're flying through the air and you have no idea if you have a parachute, how you're gonna land, you don't know what to do. That is how you become who you were meant to be. Okay, this metaphor. First of all, it doesn't really work as a metaphor in the first place because it's not clear what kind of decision she's even talking about. And second of all, so she says you take a leap of faith. So it's like a decision that we're consciously making. So why are we making a decision to jump before checking if we have a parachute? That's not confidence or being ambitious. That's just being stupid and how you get killed. That it's a flimsy metaphor on the surface, and then if you unpack it, it still is not good advice. Like, the meat of it is absolutely not a good idea. So that's what she thought every woman needed to hear, and I seriously still don't know if it was just supposed to be a bunch of clips of her or if that was supposed to be like one speech, because it was just so incoherent. And was there anything that you could actually apply from that? Because it was just a bunch of like, oh, sometimes it's hard, and other times it's worth it, and sometimes it's hard, and then it's worth it, and then you're gonna do stuff, and you just gotta do it, and you know, gotta go and do it, and it's gonna be hard. Like, you're not saying anything. All she is she's like this embodiment of everything I hate very much. She's like this fake guru who doesn't really deserve anything, who's never really done anything that exemplary. And also, with her talking point, she's kind of this neoliberal capitalism cheerleader, you know, saying like, oh, successful people are successful exclusively because they work hard, and people who aren't successful aren't because they don't work hard. Which, if it would be cool if that were true in the real world, but that's not the reality that we live in, and it's obvious that that's not true. Objectively true that hard work is not enough to be successful. It requires privilege, resources, and luck. But hard work alone will not get you success. And many people who work very hard are not successful. And many people who don't work hard are. And that's the reality that we live in. If you don't agree with that, you are delusional, you're in denial. And if you are aware of it and you say that it's not true, you are lying. That's just a flat out falsehood. And that's all I had to say about Rachel Hollis. So, I've been Mac. Peace out. Bye!
If you have a parachute, how you're gonna land, you don't know what you do. That is how you become walk through it and I'm on the other side. Stop crying about what happened and take control of what happened.